the weight of secrets. The three of them stood in Crotona Park like statues, watching Miguel disappear into the twilight with Diego Santos and his crew. The sound of their laughter and voices faded into the general hum of the neighborhood. Distant salsa music, kids playing in fire hydrants, the rumble of the Cross Bronx Expressway. Tommy broke the silence first. Colombia, huh? Marcus felt his stomach drop. The way Tommy said it, flat, empty of emotion, was worse than anger would have been. How long you been sitting on that? Ray asked. His voice was quiet, but Marcus could hear the hurt underneath. Marcus turned to face them. In the dying light, their faces were hard to read, but he could feel the distance opening between them like a chasm. I got the letter 2 weeks ago. I was going to tell you guys, Just what? Tommy's hands were in his pockets, his shoulders tight. Waiting for the right moment? Maybe after we all enlisted or something. It wasn't like that. Then what was it like, Marcus? Ray stepped closer. Even when he was trying to understand, Ray was intimidating. 6'3" of solid muscle, hands that could palm a basketball like it was an orange. But his eyes were gentle, confused. We tell each other everything. That's how it's always been. I know. Marcus felt the words stick in his throat. I didn't know how to say it. Didn't know what it meant for us. It means you're leaving. Tommy kicked at the dirt. It means you got out. The accusation hung in the air between them. Got out. Like they were in prison. Like the Bronx was something to escape from, rather than home. My mom worked 3 jobs for this, Marcus said quietly. She's been cleaning offices at night, taking in laundry, doing hair in our kitchen. She's got arthritis so bad her hands shake, but she keeps going because she wants me to have something better than this. Nobody's saying you shouldn't go, Ray said. We're just saying you should have told us. How? The frustration burst out of Marcus before he could stop it. How was I supposed to tell you? Miguel's staring down a draft notice. Tommy's going to break his back in construction. And Ray, you got City College, but we all know your pops is going to need you working to help with the bills. How was I supposed to sit there and say, hey guys, I'm going to the Ivy League? Tommy's jaw worked, but he didn't respond. Ray looked away. And now Diego Santos knows, Marcus continued, his voice dropping. Which means everyone knows. Which means I look like I was hiding it because I'm ashamed of you guys or something. Are you? Tommy asked. The question hit Marcus like a punch. What? Ashamed of us, of this. Tommy gestured around them. At the park, the neighborhood, the whole world they'd grown up in. Because that's what it feels like, man. Feels like you already left. Marcus wanted to protest, but something in him recognized the truth in Tommy's words. He had left, in a way. From the moment he opened that acceptance letter, part of him had already been walking through Columbia's gates, sitting in lecture halls, becoming someone different, someone who wasn't from here. I'm worried about Miguel, Ray said, changing the subject but not really. That deal he made with Diego was stupid, Tommy finished. Diego doesn't give anything for free. Whatever Miguel thinks he's getting, it's going to cost him more than he knows. We have to help him, Marcus said. How? Tommy's laugh was bitter. You're leaving in 2 months. I'm going to be hauling rebar 10 hours a day. Ray's got his own stuff to deal with. Miguel made his choice. He made it for us, Ray said quietly. You heard what Diego said. He was going to make us all prove ourselves. Miguel took that on so we wouldn't have to. The three of them stood there as full darkness settled over the park. The streetlights flickered on, casting orange pools of light across the basketball court. In the distance, someone had started a fire in a trash can, and silhouettes moved around it like dancers. I gotta get home, Tommy said finally. My old man's gonna be drunk by now, and I don't want my mom dealing with that alone. He started to walk away, then stopped and looked back at Marcus. Congratulations, by the way, on Colombia. That's really something. The words should have felt good, but they didn't. They felt like goodbye. After Tommy left, Ray and Marcus walked together toward the Grand Concourse. They didn't talk much. Ray had always been comfortable with silence, and tonight Marcus was grateful for it. His mind kept replaying the moment when Diego had casually mentioned Colombia, the way Miguel's face had flickered with surprise before going carefully blank. How had Diego known? Marcus had told no one except his mother, and she wouldn't have spread it around. The letter had come directly to their apartment. Unless, Ray, Marcus said slowly, you remember when we were at Sal's last week, when I went to the bathroom? Ray nodded. Did anyone go through my bag? Ray's brow furrowed. Wait, yeah, actually, some guy bumped into our table, knocked it over. We were picking stuff up. Your books and papers went everywhere. What guy? I don't know. Young, maybe 20, had a scar here. Ray traced a line down his left cheek. Helped us pick everything up, apologized, bought us a round of Cokes. Why? Marcus felt cold despite the summer heat. That's Flaco, one of Diego's guys. They stopped walking. Ray's face hardened as he understood. Diego was checking up on you? On all of us? He's been watching us for a while, probably, knowing who's going where, what everyone's doing, building a file. But why? Marcus thought about Miguel, about the deal he just made, about how Diego had known exactly which buttons to push, exactly what each of them wanted and feared. Because that's what he does. He finds leverage. He finds out what people need, what they're afraid of, who they love, and then he owns them. Miguel walked right into it. Miguel was always going to walk into it, Marcus said. Because of Carmen. Diego probably planned this whole thing from the start. His sister falls for a neighborhood kid with no prospects, no future. Perfect recruit. Ray was quiet for a long moment. You think Carmen knows? That her brother's using her? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe that's why she looked so sick when Miguel agreed to the deal. They reached the corner where they usually split up. Ray heading east toward his family's apartment on Bathgate, Marcus continuing south toward home. Marcus, Ray said, you're still one of us. Columbia doesn't change that. You understand? Marcus nodded, not trusting himself to speak. And we're going to figure out how to help Miguel. All of us, before you leave, before things get too deep. We'll find a way. Yeah, Marcus said, but he didn't believe it. Not really. Because the truth was that Miguel was already too deep, had been from the moment he first kissed Carmen Santos on a rooftop 3 months ago. The truth was that Marcus was leaving, and Tommy was right. Part of him had already left. The truth was that everything was changing, and no amount of brotherhood could stop it. Marcus walked the rest of the way home alone. His building was on 165th, a 6-story walk-up with broken tiles in the lobby and graffiti on every floor. He climbed the stairs slowly, dreading the conversation he knew was coming. His mother was waiting in the kitchen, still in her cleaning uniform from the office job. She'd laid out dinner, rice and beans, chicken she'd stretched to last 3 days. The apartment smelled like sofrito and fatigue. You're late, she said. Sorry, Mama. She studied his face with the X-ray vision all mothers seem to possess. What happened? Marcus sat down at the table. The chair wobbled. It had wobbled for 2 years, and they kept meaning to fix it, but never did. Diego Santos knows about Colombia. His mother's face went still. How? He's been watching us. Had someone go through my stuff, probably saw the letter. That man is poison, she said quietly. He destroys everything he touches. Miguel made a deal with him today, to work for him. His mother closed her eyes. Dios mío, Miguel's a good boy. Was, Marcus said, then immediately regretted it. I know what you mean. She sat down across from him, her swollen hands folded on the table. Baby, you can't save everyone. You can't fix everything that's broken in this neighborhood. I have to try. No, her voice was sharp. You have to go to Colombia. You have to study and learn and become something more than this. That's how you help, by getting out, by succeeding, by showing other kids it's possible. That's not enough. It has to be enough, Marcus, because it's all you can do. She reached across and took his hand. I've watched too many brilliant boys in this neighborhood throw away their futures trying to save their friends. It doesn't work. You can't pour from an empty cup. Marcus looked at their hands together, his smooth and young, hers worn and scarred from years of hard work. She'd given everything for him to have this chance. How could he tell her it felt like betrayal? Tell me about your day, she said, changing the subject the way she always did when things got too heavy. Before all this, what did you do? So Marcus told her about the basketball game, about the easy jokes and the summer heat, about the moment before everything changed when it was just 4 friends with the whole afternoon ahead of them. He told her about the good parts, and she listened, and for a little while the kitchen felt safe. But later, lying in his bed in the small room he shared with his younger brother Darnell, Marcus couldn't sleep. Through the thin walls, he could hear the building's nighttime symphony. Mrs. Rodriguez arguing with her husband, the baby 3 floors down crying, someone's television playing too loud, the distant wail of sirens. He thought about Miguel, about what Diego would ask him to do. He thought about Tommy's anger and Ray's hurt, and the way their friendship felt like it was already fracturing. He thought about Carmen Santos and whether she was lying awake too, wondering what her love had cost. Most of all, he thought about September, about walking through Colombia's gates into a world where people wouldn't know where he came from or what he'd left behind. A world where he could be anyone, become anything. The thought should have excited him. Instead, it felt like drowning. Somewhere in the building, someone started playing Tito Puente, the horns cutting through the night. Marcus closed his eyes and tried to imagine a future where everyone made it out, where no one got left behind, where the neighborhood didn't devour its children. But all he could see was Miguel's face when he'd agreed to Diego's deal, resigned, determined, already halfway gone.